So, yeah, I'm so excited about my new talk. This is a brand new company where I work right now. It's based in Tallinn, Estonia. So we only start during this winter to develop the new game. And today I will show some kind of experience of development and try to share as much as possible to just share our knowledge and advise somebody of you who are interested in game development. So this is me. I just want to show some of my previous works before I start. I'm an artist and director. So I think I start to work in the game industry in 2007. My first job was in Ringtail Studios. I made a lot of assets for games. After that, I made several my own indie projects. Right now, we have 7 team members already. 1 executive director, 1 me as an art director, 2 artists, 1 2D artist and 2nd 3D artist who made all the animations as well, 1 developer and 1 game designer. So basically, this team should be enough to complete our game in the next 2 months. So right now we work on a brand new card crawling adventure game. It's with a really interesting mechanic inside. So we basically focus it on the audience of teenagers as first. And we choose iPhone and Android platforms to publish it. And the last thing that we use the Unity as a main tool for development. So second thing, we took as a reference a loop hero. We took a loop hero as a concept to use a loop as a progression of your journey. And we use Legends of Runeterra as a card management and map progression system. We use that concept, that reference is not just because we want to steal something, but because we really like this. And it's really important to find something what you really like to try to continue this path of this genre. Yeah. So what next? Didn't work. Some technical issue. I don't know what should be next. Maybe you can do something there. Okay. So maybe it's because of video again. Yeah, please press here. So yeah, basically this slide will show you how everything was begun. So I work alone in the first few months without any team. I just try to fit different ideas into concept. I developed the main atoms for the game design to work with the game designer after that. So I developed the avatar, the role of this avatar. I developed the game view that I choose that the game view will be from top camera to communicate with your mobile phone better, to see this battle chest from, like if you use your device, if you take it in your hand, you will see this battle chest inside of your mobile phone. So the idea was like that. So I made a paper cut prototype as a first thing, because it's really important to touch everything, to understand the mechanics, to try to play with different elements as a toys. So this helps a lot on the first stage to just explain our developer how we see the future of development of the game. After that, I use a Figma and make several ideas about the mechanics, how they should work. Again, it was created not just for developer, but also for me to understand my ideas, already explained it in a documentation. So let's see from left to the right these 4 images. The first one will show the first and main mechanic that you will need to complete the loop. After completion of the loop, you will gain some amount of money. So the second slide, second image, will show you the second main mechanic, that you will have a cards, and each card represents different encounters. So you use your cards to place it on the path, and when you place it on one tile, it generates a new encounter. When you come too close to encounter, the player actually start to fight with you. And in the previous version, there was an option to change different weapons. And on the third image, you can see that in the previous versions of the game, there was a fighting mode where you will destroy your weapon one by one after another hit. So after a few tests, we made a first draft. Then we made a first prototype with developer like this. And in a few weeks, we got already this type of prototype. Actually, I create everything really fast here and use it animations from Mixamo library. It's really fast to use already existed assets and to use animations really fast, because as fast you create a prototype, faster you can test it on the players. And we take this prototype and go to London Pocket Gamer conference in this February to gather feedback. Actually, this was our second month of development already. So, but before I show this feedback, I want to focus a little bit on the character. So this is how I developed the character design from the beginning. I just took a lot of concepts from different type of films, games, or even sketches which I found on the internet, and tried to imagine how I will mix those together. So we mainly focus it on a European audience. That's why I took mostly some kind of European style. I mean, like not Asian, but more European. And yeah, we developed this kind of character. I made it not alone. I made it with different artists, with several iterations. So basically, this is Fredo. Yeah, he stuck inside this board game. And the thing is that you will need to complete this board game to out from it. So let's back to the feedback from the conference. The first concern was that the player not use weapons at all. So basically the player seen that there was a weapon, but he didn't actually touch it at all. Even if I say that you need to touch it, they was somehow didn't find what to touch. The second problem was that we not have so much space on the vertical screen. That's why we actually rotate the screen on the horizontal mode. And the third concern was about engagement, that the players actually lose the interest in gameplay during the session, because there was a loops and all the monsters had different amount of health point, and when you kill, for example, one monster one time, you already know how much time you need to hit to kill those. So yeah, I will show the few GIFs over here, which represent my first attempt to solve those problems, but these ones not the final ones. So basically, again, it not work. Something with pult, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, this one. Thank you. So to solve the problem with the player engagement, we decided to make the game on the full screen to shows to see the characters in a full screen, to make more view, to make more attractive view for players. But this actually was not a really good idea. I will tell about that a little bit later. Also, we add this slider to represent the hit bar, and this thing was going from the left to the right. You can see on this GIF also. This was our first attempt to solve the problems, to make engagement a little bit more better. Yeah, and this concept actually works fine for us. You can see that the core mechanics, it's still the same. We have this path around the circle, around the loop. We have a hero which goes through this loop. But in the center, we have this huge figure which fights with another guy. So the problem was that by doing that, we create some new genre. And we decided to not to continue that way. We decided to go back to the loop hero concept. And this was the crucial moment for us because we was so many concern in a team. Someone wants this way, someone wants another way, and yeah. But I should say that it's really important to stick to your reference from the beginning and know what you do, because it's so simple to get so many advices around you and to choose not the realistic one and to change your game mechanics so much that it completely changed the concept of your game. That's why we decided to go back to the previous idea to make just a loop around the screen. So here you can see, this video works. We record a small video about the gameplay. So basically it's a tutorial. So yeah, how the game works. Your hero go through the path around the circle or through the loop, I will say. And during this journey, you will find the different mobs. And also you can use the boosts to destroy someone, or you can use the cards to place a new encounters to gain a new resources. And if you have resources, you can choose those. You can use the resources to gain boosts or to complete your quest in a meta game. So basically, the main idea is to make game really simple with only a few mechanics, but with the different type of encounters and behaviors of the world. So let's try to break down the whole game into elements. So the first element is card. This is just an example of elite monster card. So this is the skeleton card. On the left corner, you can see the type of monster, which means like a magical monster. On the right corner, you can see which currency you will gain after you kill this monster. On the bottom part of the card, you will see the special ability of that monster and the hit points and the health points. So basically, when you drop the card will transform into the mob. And yeah, we already have done, I guess, a 16 with the 16 different cards. With each monster have a different ability, each monster have a different animation, and each monster have a different resource which he give after death. So the boosters. Boosters is another main mechanic of our game. You can use the boosters to randomize your card shelf. You can use the booster to damage someone. You can use a booster to heal yourself, and it's endless interesting ways to use the boosters for different type of levels. For example, we prepare right now a teleport booster, and we have in mind a lot of different ideas. The last thing and the most important is the tasks. This bar will show you different tasks which you need to complete during the level. So the first one will show, for example, here, how many mobs you will need to kill. The second one, how many chests you will need to open. The third one, how many loops you need to complete. And the last one will show how many cards you need to drop out. Just an example, it's always randomized. So the map. This is the next element. Our game actually is how to say is created with the three main elements. It's the world, it's the maps, and the adventures. So the world, this is some kind of meta game. We have a different buildings there. In each building, we have a different maps. You need to complete map, which right now have a 7 levels inside, 7 adventures. And in the end of the map, you will need to complete the boss to find the quest item to open the next chapter, the next building in the meta game. So the meta game. In the meta game, you will meet with the different NPCs. You will open the storyline. You will find different things like, for example, library. Let's continue with the next slide. When you will open different chests by completing the maps, you will find the library, you will find the shop and other interesting things. So the buildings, it's another important part in our game, which is in really early development stage right now. But yeah, we try to connect right now everything all together with the resources, with the maps, and with the world map of metagame. And I really want to share a little bit knowledge about UI, how we develop the UI in the game, and how I tried to adjust the pipeline for the team. So in the beginning, I just had screens. I split the screens into spreadsheet in a Google Drive, and yeah, I just try to describe everything what I want to see here. I just try to find the reference images to understand what type of images I will see on this screen, on another screen, and after I realized like what I want to see, I just translate it into the formula of the screens. So this is the common user flow of the game. So basically this is a screens, and you can see how you will go from one screen to another, and how everything game flow will be in the game engine. So after I finish it with that thing, I just translate it into the Figma file. In the Figma file, you can see that the game will begin from the logotype, then we will see the main screen, then we will see the prologue, then we will have a transition, and so on. So basically, what I try to figure out here is what kind of screens you will see after each other, and if you will see everything in one page, it's really simple to recognize, for example, how your elements will be repeated on different screens, how your player will communicate with these tools, and how to make those more consistent with each other and with the whole style of the game. So basically, this is the UI development for this game, which I work right now on. And yeah, let's talk about monetization a little bit. Maybe Vasily, our game designer, can share a little bit of knowledge about that, because he's a game designer.
That's not how it works. Hello, my name is Vasily. I'm working with Sergei in Not Bad Games. As you could see during the presentation, there are a lot of prototypes. We love making prototypes to see how game evolve, to present it to players, our friends, etc., to gather feedback. So we don't want to hold our game to ourselves. We want to present it in store as fast as possible. So we will release it soon, but a part of it, and a part, and a part, and a part. So this is game as service. Yeah, we use free-to-play model. So will be a lot of players, we hope. Game will be free. We will use in-game purchases, and we sell cosmetics. Game will see different and different phones. We will sell boosters and expansions. Each time we will update our game, it will be a huge part with a story, with new events. Maybe leaks, PvP leaks. Why not? That's it about the monetization. So the main thing during this presentation is you as a developer should know your product. You should know the core idea. You don't need to go away from it. There will be a lot of people who will give you advices how to make your game better and better and better. It will be the best game in the world, but I'm not sure it will work. So always keep in mind your first ideas, your references, and don't go a lot from it.
Don't go too far.
Da, too far.
So yeah, the last thing, we are growing right now, and we try to make everything on time. So right now we are in the middle of the development, on the early stage of development, to release the beta in the end of this summer. And yeah, right now we are hiring, and we seek to find a Unity developer who actually experienced it in iOS and Android. Basically, the most important is iOS, because we already have a guy who works with Android. And yeah, also we try to find a 2D and 3D artist as well, maybe as a freelance or maybe as a full-time as well, if our position will fit for your needs.